It was supposed to be a weekend of fun in the big city, but Jian Dogan and his friends wouldn't make it to the Big Apple. They were stopped here at the Peace Bridge in Fort Erie.
They held onto our passports and they asked to go to this booth to talk to the officers.
It would be an hour before a U.S. Customs officer would approach Dogan and the three friends he was traveling with. All born in Turkey, 3 are now Canadian citizens, the other has a U.S. and Canadian visa.
From the beginning, and they were just making fun of us.
First, they were asked to fill out forms. Their cell phones were confiscated.
We individually were asked to go in, and then they got our fingerprints, and they laid us against the wall, took our pictures.
Despite providing details about their trip, the 4 men were questioned in separate rooms for more than 6 hours.
He said, no, I'm just curious because we don't know much about the war in Syria because we're really busy with Ebola. Just tell us, how do you feel about it?
At one point, Fisa Kea even pointed out he had worked for the Canadian government as an interpreter, and still, the questions continued.
The idea that immigration officers don't racially profile is nonsense.
Immigration lawyer and former border agent Gidi Maman says no matter how unsettling or intimidating that type of questioning may be, it is perfectly legal.
Those are not unusual and not unreasonable when the officer thinks that he is looking into a potential security threat.
The form the group was given doesn't list any official reasons why their entry was denied, but the men were told officers didn't believe they had strong enough ties to Canada that they would return home.
I've lived in Canada for close to 10 years now, and I own a house in Canada, for God's sake. How much of a strong tie can I have in Canada?
The men fear they may never be allowed into the U.S. and worry how the information collected about them is being used.
It was embarrassing. Honestly, in my case, I am sad because it was a frustration moment.
Maman says he wouldn't be surprised if authorities were checking into their backgrounds. The information collected is attached to their passports forever.
And there's really no appeal of sort that we could have where there could be an airing out of this process. It really doesn't exist.
Now, in a statement, the U.S. Border Patrol says it strictly prohibits profiling on the basis of race or religion, and that the men can file a formal complaint online.